It's afternoon over here in Europe, late night almost over in Hong Kong, where our dear friend and special guest of today, Eric Piras, is located. Early mornings for all of you, ladies and gentlemen, over in the United States. And it's a tremendous pleasure and honor to welcome you all to another Light 'em Up Wednesday, another Light 'em Up special feature. And today we even have a double feature. As I said, Eric Piras is with us here this evening and afternoon. And I am truly honored and most grateful and happy to welcome such an outstanding and well-accomplished gentleman of the cigar industry with me here today. For all of you who are watching over on Facebook, as always, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please feel free to put your questions, everything that you would like to forward and ask to Mr. Eric into the comments underneath the live video, and we will be more than happy to forward them to Mr. Piras. So without further ado, Eric Piras, welcome to the Light 'em Up Lounge, and many thanks for doing us the honors.
Thank you very much, Renard. I'm very pleased and a big pleasure to meeting you through this event tonight. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone around. It's a pleasure to talk with you today. And I'm looking forward to a nice evening. And please feel free to ask any question. I may be able to answer, maybe not to all, but I may be able to answer. And in the case you don't understand my English, please ask me, I can repeat.
I think we'll be absolutely fine there. No worries at all.
Oh, we never know, we never know.
But Mr. Piras, as your English is probably giving away, you're not a native to Hong Kong, even though you live there now for quite some time. But actually, you were born and raised in the region of Bordeaux in France. So give us a little bit about the background story of how you actually discovered the world of handmade premium cigars and what got you into the business in the first place.
Before starting my career into the cigar industry, I was in the hotel restaurant. I was building restaurant, building hotel, managing hotel, consulting in several places in the world. And I had the chance, when I arrived in Hong Kong, I had a big opportunity to meet Sir David Tang, who was the founder of Pacific Cigar, exclusive distributor of Cuban cigar. And he offered me a job to expand the company in Asia Pacific and in Canada. So that was the right time for me and was an exceptional experience to discover the cigar world with Habanos. So working closely with Habanos, and as you know, was quite easy to sell Cohiba in the region. So it was not so difficult. It was a lot of time playing golf and cigar dinner. On that time was the mid-90s. We did not have so much restriction. We could smoke in restaurant, hosting party, hosting dinner. So we were having a really beautiful time promoting the brands. And that gave me the first step into the cigar industry. And then in 1999, 2000, I have been recruited by Altadis Cigar, which on that time was market leader, global market leader for cigar premium and machine made. And I spent 15 years with Altadis and Altadis USA, traveling around the world, opening market, promotion, launching brands. Good job. Good job. It was very nice, and it gave me that gave me an opportunity to meet a lot of people into the industry through the trade show, through the visiting the country, visiting the factory, visiting the makers. I have been invited in a lot of tasting committee in a factory. It's always a great experience to talk directly with the master blender, to visit the fincas, and to be in the heart of the cigar industry. Out this is an exceptional path, and I was very lucky.
Quite often on the show, we have people who are either closely linked to hospitality or who have a history in the hospitality industry, like myself. And it's very interesting to see all the similarities and how the world of handmade premium cigars and the art of hosting other people, welcoming other people, have so much in common. Like quintessentially, they're one and the same almost. But when you were working in hospitality, did you ever envision that ultimately you would create such a stellar career and such a path for yourself in the cigar world, or was it more of an accident?
No, it was like an accident, if you want to put it this way. A good accident.
Good one, obviously.
A very good accident. I did not get hurt, but it was very nice. And it is a bit of similarity into the wine, the world of the wine, the world of the hospitality industry. We are a bit into the same world. Cigar is particular. Cigar is very specific. And you can see people who started working into the cigar industry, they never quit. A majority of the people who work into the cigar business, from the plantation to the sales, manufacturing, processing, any step, they love this industry and they stay for years. You can see in the factory, you have the father torcedor or working in the factory, another position, and you have often the son or the daughter joining and working in the factory. It is very close community and people love this industry.
So in your perspective, why would you say is that, or what are some of those unique elements that make the cigar industry truly what it is, or what was so appealing for you in the first place? Was it the product? Was it the people?
Everything. The product. We are in a luxury world. Cigar handmade is luxury. It is artisanal. It demands a lot of know-how. It demands a lot of time, and is one of the few products in the luxury market that you put in your mouth. All handmade is something quite exceptional. So we have to keep up with this image of the cigar, and it's very important to make the difference between a natural product, 100% tobacco, totally handmade, which reflect sometimes the history of the country, the history of the factory, of the blend, of the cigar maker, the people who work in the fincas, who do the plantation, who take care of the crop, of the tobacco. A lot of work. And I very much hope that we keep that for years and years to go. And I love this industry. I love the people that you meet into the industry. Okay, not everyone. We have to be honest. Not everyone. But I like the people with who I'm working. We cooperate with the brand that I'm distributing. Arturo Fuente, Ashton, Maya Selva Cigar, Flor de Selva, Villa Zamorano, Compay, Roya de Nicaragua. All these people have history, generation into this industry. And all these people are really committed to the product they want to deliver. They are very much in. So it's not, you don't find that in every industry.
I couldn't agree more.
Very important. It's very important when you meet Jeremiah, I can see you here on the screen. Is quite is very nice to meet Jeremiah. I mean, he's one of the personage into the cigar world. His family history. When you meet Carlito Fuente, when you meet Robin Levin and his team, all these people were in the industry for generation. Maya Selva, who started from scratch in Honduras and built her brands, is quite a lot of respect. Roya de Nicaragua, with Juan and his father, who took over the factory and managed his factory for many years and doing a lot of good work. You have good blood also into this industry now, like you. You are pretty young, and you see like Leonard, you have a lot of a young generation of people working behind or promoting the cigar industry. This is encouraging. This is encouraging. So this is what we like. And I'm pleased to be part of this industry.
I couldn't agree more with everything that you said, and what we've built with Light 'em Up, and the way we try to bring people from all walks of life and from all ends of the world together is just an expression of that. Our deep love and appreciation for the industry and the respect for outstanding people like Jeremiah Mirapful, who's here with us, or Jose Blanco. He's also watching, and all the people that you're working with. Fortunately, we had, I believe, all of them at the show at one point. How do you actually go about choosing those people and picking the brands that you're working with? And then please also give us a little bit of the background and how you actually started with your current endeavors, which are Sigral Limited and Bertie Cigar Lounge, obviously where you located at this very moment of speaking.
First, cheers. It's pretty late here, and I have a nice glass of rum to your health, and have a good day. So yes, after I am almost 25 years into this cigar industry. I spent 15 years with Altadis and 4 or 5 years with Pacific Cigar Habanos. So I was lucky to work with very, very good company. And when I left Altadis, I did not see myself doing something else. I wanted to stay into this industry. As I told you, most of the people that you meet into the cigar industry, they never quit. They love to work into the cigar business. So that's what I opened Sigral, import-export of cigar and accessories. And we are also making some marketing development for the brands we distribute. I was very lucky. I started with Maya Selva Cigar, Flor de Selva, Villa Zamorano, Compal. And as a small, medium company, I wanted to have some recognized brand to distribute. So I was lucky to have Ashton, who asked me, who appointed me as an agent and distributor for the region. After we had Roya de Nicaragua. All these brands are recognized and they wanted to develop their business in Asia Pacific. And the latest one that I took over is Arturo Fuente with Jeremiah, who appointed me as distributor for Hong Kong, Macau. And these are brands that are already recognized in certain countries, not everywhere, but beside Arturo Fuente, globally recognized. But Roya Nicaragua, we had to do a lot of work, and we are doing quite a good work to develop the brand in the region, brand recognition for Maya Selva also, for Flor de Selva, Villa Zamorano. So all this work, it was a bit what I was doing in the past. So I just carry on doing my job for my company this time. And I have a very good team here. Antoine Ribéry, who is in charge of the export for the region. I have a long time assistant, Candy One, who is working for me for the past 10 years. So it's good to work with a good team. We have in Sigral, we give good result at the moment. We are competing against two major distributors, Pacific Cigar, with exclusive distributor of Habanos in the region, and Davidoff. So these are multi-million dollar company working, and I am a small entrepreneur here. And right now, without any show off, we are number 3 in Asia Pacific. So Pacific Cigar, Asia Pacific, Habanos, market leader, Davidoff, and Sigral, number 3 in 5 years' time. So I believe we did a good job. Now
So
we had, pardon?
Please go ahead.
No, and about Bertie, I had a chance to open Bertie last year in March 2019, and this gave me an opportunity to present the brand that we are distributing. We are the only cigar lounge, the only cigar shop, tobacconist, you name it the way you prefer, showing 4 terroirs into the Wild King humidor. In Hong Kong, at the moment, we are the only one having Nicaragua, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Honduras. And these 4 countries of origin, 4 terroirs, represent the majority of the sales of cigar worldwide. And we have famous, recognized brands that we are developing in Asia Pacific. So this is very important into the retail and for Sigral to have a flagship store to promote and to talk to the consumer directly, a B2C, the brand. And when we have a guy who came for the first time, or a girl who came for a woman who came for the first time, they don't know what to smoke, they don't know how to enjoy. I have a perfectly trained team who are going to ask questions like, how long are you going to be here? Is it your first cigar? Is it do you like light, medium? What are you smoking? They will ask a lot of questions in order to try to fit the right selection to the customer. And this makes us very well recognized in Hong Kong at the moment, because we were the first one and the only one. We are at the moment the only one to do it. And I'm very pleased by we have been nominated by Cigar Journal as the top 5 cigar lounge in the world. So, wow, we were very, very, very lucky and very happy to have that. So yes, we are doing a lot of training. You have, into on the planet at the moment, Habanos hold maybe 80 or 90% market share. So in order to, out of the US, in order to promote and to build the brands, we have to do a lot of work behind the New World cigar brands. So we are doing a lot of events, a lot of promotion, a lot of training. I have Sigral Academy, where we do a lot of blind tasting, and I love the blind tasting. I love blind tasting. You will always be really surprised by the result of the blind tasting. So I love that. So this is the way we promote all our brands directly.
I would love to come back to the blind tasting element, of course, Mr. Piras. But I would love to talk on a bit of a more holistic level with you about the market in Asia in particular, because you sort of mentioned a couple of very interesting aspects on how the market behaves in general and the consumer behavior and the expectations of the cigar aficionados in Hong Kong and in Southeast Asia in general. But you're such a well-traveled gentleman. You've worked all around the globe. What is it for you that makes the essence of the cigar culture and the cigar market in Southeast Asia?
Difficult question. Difficult question. Do you have another one? No, no, it's okay. I keep up. I keep up. Let me think. We have. Okay, I cannot speak. I can speak for hours, but I mean, I don't want to bother you with all specific. But cigar market in Asia Pacific was very much under Habanos lead. Habanos Cuban. China in particular, which is the biggest market in Asia, and most of the other countries, it was Habanos. So in the past, I will say 5 years, let's say 10 years, but step by step, we saw a jump in the past 5 years with younger smoker. And you will be amazed by certain figures that I received, where I have one of my customer, big account, 50% of his buyers, of his consumer, are between 21 and 30 years old. 50% is quite huge of a young, trendy population, smoking population cigar. And the rest is above 30. So, and a lot of these consumers are looking for price, of course, and they are looking for new cigar to taste. They don't want to bother with maybe what the daddy was smoking or what the friends of his dad was smoking. They want to try something new. So packaging, price, I will say price first, packaging, cigar also very important. And they want to have a cigar which delivers some aroma, some flavor, was taste. They don't want any flat stuff. They don't want to have any cigar which is just a common cigar. So I don't want to go into the details, and I will not do any comparison between brands or country of origin, but right now we have to say that a lot of people are discovering the cigar from the New World as much as when they were starting to discover the wine from New World. Okay, this is a cliche type of comparison, but it's true. People want to have some aroma. They don't want to have any aggressivity, no acidity. So a lot of cigars that they consume are enjoyable cigar. Can be from light to medium, can be medium to strong or full body, but it's cigar that they will remember. And this is very important. And it's the way you see in Asia Pacific an increase and a growth at the moment of cigar from New World. Nicaragua in particular, number one. Dominican Republic, of course, and Honduras coming very close to that. Before, they did not have a chance to taste all this cigar. So it was not so accessible for them. And since Sigral opened and market the brands, we gave an opportunity to a lot of people to taste excellent cigar from Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic.
Now, this sounds like very similar to certain evolutions that we've seen in the cigar industry in various parts of the world. But from your experience, from your travels and the different parts of the world where you lived in and worked, do you feel like also in terms of the palate, the aromas and flavors that the people in Asia Pacific are looking for, are there slight differences? Maybe also because of the way we eat, the way we season our food, the spices that we have access to, all these different experiential worlds closely linked to food and drinks as well. Would you say that makes for a big impact on the appreciation and perception of cigars as well?
Yes, but that is the cultural fact. Uh, that can go from the taste as well as from the draw. You may have cigar, in the States, people like a certain strength into the cigar, quite powerful, big ringer, big ring gauge, large cigar. In Europe, they will go with something different. In Asia Pacific, they like good draw, not too fast, not too easy, and a bit like same that in Europe. And they love also cigar with aroma, something like light to medium. Some, you cannot generalize the taste of. It's very subjective. I mean, everyone likes, but you may have some people who prefer strong cigar. But when I say strong, not as strong as uh, full body with not much complexity, full aroma. They want to have something which deliver aroma and flavor. The way they will perceive that is different than the way a European or an American will perceive, because it's a matter of education, of culture. So you may have, I remember in one of the testing, I had a customer who say, oh, I feel the pepper, Sichuan pepper. Look, if you are in France and you know the pepper, the poivre de Cayenne or some other pepper, but if you tell me, oh, I feel the Sichuan pepper, I say, bravo, I mean, I'm impressed. No, you have the basic into the aroma, but a lot of people test the cigar with their own approach, their own culture. So it's quite different. But in conclusion, Asia Pacific, light to medium, slightly more powerful, but I I never see people who like really full power, as you may find in some other country.
Do you think that an important aspect of taking the entire cigar culture in Asia Pacific to another level is very much within the educational component and exactly what you're trying to achieve with the Sigral Academy, for example?
Yes, now this a lot of people ask me from beginners. They want to know the etiquette, the basic on cigar. So you have that. Is a lot of education in Asia. Is a lot of education. Even through Sigral Academy, we are doing that. But also when we do sales, we have to explain a lot of things. When we do, like Antoine, my colleague who is managing new account, is doing a lot of training to sales staff. I mean, it's not everyone who smoke a cigar, and a lot of sampling, test this cigar, and that is the way to cut it. We go from scratch, we go from the basic, and is no common sense. It's just you go through the basic and you explain that a cigar is made with 5 leaves, and that is the wrapper, the binder, the filler. Here is the head, here is the foot. You cut here. You have different way of cutting, straight, V-cut, piercing with your teeth, with your nail, you do whatever, but this is the proper way of cutting with a cutter. And and what association with the drinks. Uh, I always say you don't have a strong cigar with a strong drink. You have to what to drink with the champagne, white wine. So a lot of education from the seed to the cigar you purchase and you put in your mouth. A lot of people don't know that it takes 3 years to have a proper cigar. They don't know about the process of the fermentation, which is key, a key process into the tobacco. Fermentation, aging, of course, manufacturing. You have the good factory and the others, and the quality control. We explain a lot. We explain a lot. We do a lot of education here in Asia. And this helps to increase the cigar smoking population. That is what we want. Everyone in the world wants to increase the cigar smoking population. Mm-hmm. So education is a big part of our job. Brand awareness, events, sampling, all these things. Same that you are doing in Europe or in the States. But most of the time it's quite a different level of entry.
I mean, as long as people are truly interested in that and open to take in all the input and all the knowledge that you're graciously offering to them, I mean, that's just wonderful, right? And I think it's also a cultural element. And sort of continuing a few of the points that you've mentioned before when it comes to cultural differences in various parts of the world. For me, it's always fascinating how in the United States, for example, smoking a cigar is almost like an everyday treat. And you will see people from all walks of life, from the blue collar worker all the way up to the multimillionaire, right? And in Europe, it's probably a bit more of an sort of upscale thing and a more a thing that, you know, people with a bit more of an income and an elevated lifestyle would appreciate. How's that in Asia? Because there might be certain preconceptions that it's perceived more as a luxury thing and the luxury treat to people who can afford it and probably also want to show off by smoking a very prominent or a well-known cigar.
Yes, look, very simple. China, the price of the cohiba went up everywhere in the world and is getting one of the reasons for the cohiba is China. Because in China, they are very much brand orientated, like Vuitton, like Dior, you know, they want the brand. So Cohiba. So it's why you have millions of sticks completely fake, counterfeit in the market in China. So you have this demand and they have the power to purchase high value product. So like in Europe, okay, in US, I think that China is, in US, I think that the cigar is much more like a commodity. You can find cigar for $1, $2 US in certain shop. Of course, after you are, but the price are still reasonable. In Asia, due to the tax system, the freight, the cost of living, price goes up. So to give you an example, most of the cigars are double the price that you can find in Europe.
Oh, wow.
Easily. So, and the good point in Asia Pacific, like country like Vietnam, you have a growing middle class who have enough to enjoy a cigar. And they don't want, some of them can get, and they can pay Cohiba or Davidoff or high-end cigar. But a lot of big majority, they want to try the cigar because they want to try some wine from France, from Italy, from New Zealand, from Chile. They want to go on the European mode of living, standard of life. So this growing middle class in Vietnam, and is what we saw 10 years ago in China, growing middle class, will spend money into cigar. Uh, uh, they will try to afford a cigar around $5, $6, $10 US. And I am manufacturing a private label for the Vietnamese tobacco monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
So I manufacture for them a cigar called August, made in Danlí, in Honduras. And this cigar retail price is quite affordable and people love the cigar. It's a very good blend. I made the blend with my friend, Master Cigar Roller, and with the factory. And they love the cigar and they can afford and they want to try. So we had a very big success with Villa Zamorano. And we have a good success also with Ashton in Vietnam. And like in other regions like Taiwan, Malaysia, Thailand, uh, my aim is to offer cigar affordable to everyone. I do not compete with Cohiba and Davidoff. They are respected brand and they are top high-end cigar. Good, bad, good, this is subjective to the guy who smoke and pay for this cigar. Some are good, some are, okay, this is, I want to democratize the cigar, you know, and still making money, of course. But we have to expand and to increase the cigar smoking population. A good point is that more and more people, young generation, stop smoking cigarettes. So, and they are curious to try a cigar. So this is a good point for us to push into this direction.
Is it the same?
So, yes.
I love the fact how you speak about the to democratize the act of cigar smoking and to make it an affordable and approachable everyday treat for people from all walks of life. Is that also the very same approach that you applied to the creation and the design of Bertie? Because it's such a beautiful lounge. It's so well decorated. It's ornate and it has a certain grandeur to it, right?
Yes, and Bertie, you can enjoy a cigar for $3, $5 US, and you can enjoy a cigar for 1,000 or more, 1,000 US if you want. You know, I have some Davidoff Chateau Margaux, Dom Perignon in the 80s. I have a limited collection of Cohiba 1966. I have some other collector's item where, and we are not a private member club. You know, I'm not British, so we don't have a club membership. I open the door to everyone. He has to be over 18 years old, and he needs to have a bit of money to purchase a cigar and to have a drink. So I'm very cool into this aspect. One thing that we have here, we have a bit of a dress code. We are in a hot country, so I don't mind people coming with Bermuda, you know, Bermuda, but I don't like flip-flop. Mm-hmm. I have something wrong. I don't like the flip-flop. And something disturbed me with the flip-flop. You know, when you have a guy with his suit and his tie, or a guy casually smart dressed, and you have another guy beside you with the flip-flop, I don't want to see his toes on his foot. And, that disturbed me. But beside that, I am open to everyone above 18 years old, enjoying. And we have a lot of new consumers who had their first cigar in Bertie's. And we recommend them with something light to medium, not too big, but not too small. You know, we are not going to sell a cigarillo on the first cigar. And a lot of these people never forget their first time. You know, first time is quite something you never forget. So, and they come back. So we are quite successful here in Bertie because most of the people who came here for the first time, they enjoyed the design, the lounge, they enjoyed the atmosphere, the service, and they come back. They may drink a coffee, an espresso, they may have a Toscano, natural Toscano, not flavor, not a Toscano, and they will enjoy it. Or they will have a double Corona, a masterpiece Arturo Fuente, an extremo from Flor de Selva, which take 2 to 3 hours. Whatever they want. Ashton, Roya de Nicaragua, Decadas, Roya de Nicaragua, Asia Pacific 4-5. We were lucky to launch the Asian Pacific regional edition, and we could export worldwide. And it was very nice. And my friend in UK purchase and distribute in the UK. New World is doing a lot. He's distributing Roya Nicaragua. He's distributing a lot of his brand. I like him. He's doing a lot of work on social media also. A lot of tasting, a lot of events. Perfect. So even I sold that to Angola, to South Africa. Perfect. So this is very important. In our business in cigar, you need to propose new cigar every single year. This is the headache for the factory, for the marketing. They have to do something every year to test because people want to discover new cigar. So we have classic line, and every year we propose new cigar, new cigar, new cigar. So this is quite encouraging in the current context where we are all doing fine. People keep enjoying cigar.
Would you say that? If I just, oh, sorry, no, just I want to say, for the people who are watching this live, I had the opportunity and the chance to join Eric during 1.5 years in Hong Kong. The Bertie Lounge and all the charisma of Eric is something amazing because even some people don't know him personally. They tell me it's a great man. And what I have learned during 1.5 years is something that no one can teach me more than him. And smoking in Bertie is spending few hours and don't see the time flying. And the experience you get in Bertie is something you cannot get in other cigar lounge in Hong Kong. Because when you're going to Bertie, I mean, it's something very special. You have like the decoration is beautiful. The people like Candy and other people who work over there are very impressive. I mean, I learned a lot, and maybe, to be honest, I think Eric can confirm, I always spend at least 2 or 4 days per week at the Bertie when I was in Hong Kong and attend so many events. Is something that I'm proud of it. Say, oh, I was be part of the Bertie Lounge at the beginning and at the opening. It was a beautiful party. And the place where it's Bertie in Hong Kong is something very, very popular. It's extremely busy. And to be honest, if you go to Bertie, you will never leave Bertie and go somewhere else.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Leo. Very kind of you.
It's great to hear from you, Leo, because you obviously experienced it firsthand and being there, working through the cigars there, which gives you probably a different view than just your regular customer, right? Mr. Piras, would you say that your previous experience in the hospitality industry was also crucial for creating the ambience, the atmosphere, and just the entire vibe of Bertie?
Yes, good question. You're totally correct. The difference between our lounge and some other lounge here is the service. The consumer is king. And I am very American into that. After spending 15 years with Theo Fords and Altadis USA and the States, no sales, no business, no job, and bye-bye. So you do the sales, you take care of the consumer is king, and we have to make sure that he's happy, and we are at your service. This is very important to consider the service. The cigar does not draw well, please let us know, we change. You feel your cigar, maybe you have some question, please let us know. Go ahead, feel free, you are at home. We manage that like a club without being a club. But everyone come in, they love the selection and they love the service. And recently I hired 2 pretty girls. So this helps also. Charlotte, who's just here, she's very pretty, and we have Anneke. Oh, but she's breaking the house, Charlotte. Bye-bye. Yeah. And pretty girls helps also. They are very nice with the customer. They are not expert into cigar. They are under training, but they like it. So recently we had a training, and I was very pleased that by the answer of the team, you know, where even the junior who they know the difference between Figurado and Pararo. They know the difference between 100% a puro and a blended from other. You know, you have some simple question that when you don't know, you are not into this business, you don't know. I mean, even a lot of consumer, a lot of smoker don't know. So we have a good team, and we are very pleased with the atmosphere here.
From my experience working in the hospitality industry and as a consultant all around the world, finding the right people is one of the key challenges for pretty much every business. How do you make sure that you find the right talent? And I would certainly agree with what you said, that it's not about the skill itself, it's about the right mindset and having the heart at the very right place. And then you have to give them the skills and teach them the actual product or the industry that they're in, right?
Yes, but I am a good boss. I am a very nice boss. I am very generous, and I am a cool boss. Antoine, you cannot say no. Eh? Yes. Yes, Jose. How are you? I am
good, good.
So
that's
the team loves working with you. But on another hand, you have to be good in keeping your team. You know, keeping your team. Like in any country, the service industry, the restaurant, in the bar, the turnover is quite high. So here we have to keep the people happy, and we have to make sure everyone is pleased to work in that way.
Eric, hello, how are you?
Good, Jose.
Listen, I've been hearing you for a while, and I've known you since we met in my days with Ernesto. You were at one of my seminars, and you and I have had this conversation. One of the things that I admire about you and your team, and I wish that every distributor and everybody in the world would focus on, is education, education, education. And I will tell you why. because the more educated the consumer is, it's better for the retail shop. The better educated the retail shop is better for yourself and the distributors. And what you guys have done in your country, in Hong Kong especially, which I've been there a couple of times. I did seminars there in Beijing and in Shanghai. Even though Hong Kong is a little bit different, it was easier for me because of the language. I have to take my hat off to you because you are a gentleman, and not only that, you're very passionate of what you've done. So you have proven that with education, good customer service, good selection, and taking care of your customers is the recipe, or what you could say is the formula to success. So I'm very happy, Jeremiah, myself, and Carlito, that we have a distributor as yourself there that takes care of people and knows the importance of what education is. And not only that, because you've been in the business and you've been in the farms, you've seen the curing, the fermentation, the aging, how cigars are made. That is something that you could teach the people who work with you, but at the same time, like that young man who was on camera right now, just being how satisfied he has been with the treatment that he has gotten from you. So Eric, it's always a pleasure to see you, my good friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jose.
Jose, thank you for tuning in. It's always a pleasure and honor to have you on the show.
It's always my pleasure, and I'll be tuning in to see Coop tonight too. But Eric, you know, I had to see him in action because he's a gentleman.
Yes, I hope you have a chance to come to visit us.
Oh no, for sure. Next year, I promise you that as soon as, you know, we have this pandemic over, it would be my pleasure to spend 2 or 3 days with you, doing some seminars, some teaching, and just meeting your people and trying to help you as much as possible.
Exactly. We are planning some event for next year in the very prestigious clubs and hotel, and of course in Bertie, and hope we have a chance to see you or Carlito, or you and Carlito or Jeremiah to join us and to talk. You are very much more technical than I am. I am more, I don't go into the technicality, the details, but you are. So it would be fun to have you here.
Eric, take my word. You are doing a fantastic job because
Yes.
I've seen you in action and you're passionate about what you do. And to me, I think that is what makes the difference between distributors that are successful and distributors that are unsuccessful. You have to have the passion, you have to have the love, you have to have the energy. And we're not getting younger, but we're getting wiser.
Excuse me. Yes, we have to be. Passion is very important. Passion is very important. And to transmit your passion, to encourage the people, to convince all these people and to have them with you is very important. So I totally agree with you, Jose. Very important.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, I will forward you our dear friend Carlito's regards. He's just watching over on Facebook, and he was sending his regards and his love and appreciation. So we're very happy and fortunate to have so many people tuning in, and we're a truly global show this afternoon, this evening, and this morning, because we have Brian Julian with us as well. He's over in Los Angeles, so probably pretty early morning still over there. Brian.
Hi, good morning. It was dark when we started, 6 a.m.
Wow.
That's how much I love this. That's how much I love you guys.
Cheers to you.
Thank you.
You have your coffee. I have my warm. Cheers.
I have a question. I wanted to say that flip-flops in Hollywood are like a formal dinner attire. You can wear flip-flops anywhere in LA. The nicest restaurant. You had mentioned cigars being subjective, and had mentioned some pretty high-priced cigars. And people always compare cigars with wine. And on the education point, I think you know, so he wants cigar people to be educated. I'm not sure if the wine experts want that necessarily, or if they just want uneducated folks to come in and get wasted so they can make more money. But in terms of quality and price and it being so subjective, I mean, there's something to be said for aging, but even the real experts say, even with aging, that's also a taste preference. So I think quality too, there's a difference between a $2 Chuck and like a nice, I don't know, Andrew Murray or something from Santa Barbara. But do you think there's any justification to crazy high prices? Is it just a name thing, like Gucci? You're paying for the name, or do you think?
I think it's a combination of both. You have the brand and you have the collector point of view. The guy wants to collect, like in the wine, Chateau Petrus, and you name it. I mean, Petrus, or the Champagne, Dom Pérignon, Krug, whatever you, all the big name into the wine is the same. People purchase, they collect. Sometimes they consume. Sometimes they want to resell. So, and it takes value. Look at the most expensive is mainly with the Habanos Festival, which is not going to happen next year, but the Habanos Festival, the auction, and the distributor have, the Cuban distributor have an exclusivity on the purchasing of the humidor. And this can reach some crazy price because it's collector items. And when you have the money to spend, some people will not smoke the cigar, they will purchase, they wet, and they sell, and they make a profit. Like in the whiskey at the moment, is a big trend into investing in whiskey. Double-digit growth on your purchase. So, recognized brand, vintage cigar can reach a high price due to the fact that they are rare and is collector items, or sometimes just because they are very good. Have you tasted a Dom Pérignon, Davidoff Dom Pérignon made in the 80s, well kept for so many years?
I can't imagine. If I had, I think I would remember.
I tell you, I tested because I smoked the damaged cigar. The cigar that I cannot sell on this price, but I can enjoy at least. So this is outstanding, is excellent cigar. This is no more manufactured, is very, very rare. So this reached a high price. That's it. When we talk about the full collection of the anniversary series for the Cuban, same. Very.
So we might just have lost
you test
there in Hong Kong.
Pardon?
Ah, you're back. Mr. Piras,
Yes.
we lost you for a moment. I think the internet connection was a bit iffy.
So I was saying that sometimes when you pay a high price for a cigar and it has not been well kept or not properly aged, is hurting your pocket and hurting you, because you may find this cigar flat or no sense to have paid so much of the money. So the source is very important. The sourcing is very important. So for the vintage cigar or collector's item, I take care personally of the purchase. I look into that very much carefully because I don't want to have any complaint, and I want to make a win-win situation. So this is very important. But yes, again, price is price. You have very good cigar, affordable, which you will never forget because it was the right time the right atmosphere, the right cigar with the right company, and you enjoy this cigar and you will love it. And it might not cost a fortune. So again, is with the vintage and private collection and all that is business, just business.
Great, thank you. Thank you, cheers.
You're welcome.
Brian, many thanks for your dedication over there, tuning in early mornings. We'll for sure see you later today with Will Cooper. I'm certain.
I'll be there.
Mr. Piras, as a sort of a follow-up and the segue question, linking back to the academy and some of the educational components which are so critical in order to take the entire industry a step further, how do you see the role of cigar media in that context? And in particular, the role of cigar media in Asia? Would people in Asia Pacific follow some of the well-established US platforms or follow some of the European media? Is there an own ecosystem of cigar media developing in Asia Pacific? I mean, our dear friend Ferdinand from Ministry of Cigars is doing a fabulous job out of Singapore, and then obviously Samuel Spur, also our dear friend from the Cigar Journal family. But how do you see that media game in that part of the world?
Yes, media now is online. Magazine, less and less people read that, and the young generation do not read at all. they even maybe look the image and that's it. In Asia, in Hong Kong, you have a lot of restriction. In a cigar lounge, you cannot have cigar magazine. It's forbidden. This is considered advertising. So you cannot give to your customer cigar magazine. Forget. So the most famous cigar online and magazine is Cigar Aficionado, of course, Cigar Journal. You have people like Ministry of Cigar, who is doing a brilliant job, is doing very well. You have a lot of bloggers. You have a lot of people online like you. You help a lot, Renard. You help a lot to the consumer. People ask questions, you answer. You are always you are doing a great job. We have also local magazine like Cigar Specialist in China. I don't know exactly what they do, but it seems that they have a kind of audience. But in China, first is limited. So it's not everyone who can issue a magazine in China. So it's very much limited. So most of the people got information through laptop and through the online channels. And this is very important that we are fine we are still okay to communicate on this channel. And you have a lot of bloggers, but you know, sometimes you have to be careful. In Asia, you may find a lot of experts. So you have to be careful on experts. Some of them are promoting their own, they get paid to promote the people who pay them. So we have to be careful on to whom we are looking. But I must say that right now, a good point that Cigar Journal did is that they now with Samuel in KL, they have the cigar magazine and he's doing a lot of media on the cigar in Asia Pacific. So this is good. Samuel Spur doing a good job with Cigar Journal. And besides that, as I said, I don't follow up much in Asia. Is not as big as the States or in Europe. you still have a lot of work to expand the media in Asia about cigar.
I think it's highly interesting that you mentioned the importance of the online, digital, and the virtual component and the virtual media side online. How do you think we can all snugly fit together the virtual component with such an analog experience that is cigars and hospitality?
Yes, but we have, you know, we are right now in Hong Kong, we are present with our brands. We are present in most of the big hotels, Ritz-Carlton, St. Regis, Hyatt, all the big names. We are present and we do some event. This is very important to do event and to be physically there. Now we have more a trend into the virtual, the Zoom event, and this works also, but people want to talk to you directly. They want to share their experience with you, and you cannot replace face-to-face with the consumer. So we do also, we had a good chance to make private labels for hotels like the Rosewood, the Dark Side, which is one of the best hotels in Hong Kong, and St. Regis. We do private label, and so we designed the band, and and this show an interest from the hotel guests. They want to try, they are in a prestigious place, they want to try a cigar from that place, and again, we do the training, we do everything for the team there to answer the question to the customer, but it's still a lot of work to do. Testing, a lot of testing, a lot of association of tests between whiskey, cigar, between cocktails, between rum and cigar. We do that in a Horeca, hotel, restaurant, catering. We have to do a lot of activation.
And that is also through blind tasting, as you mentioned before, because
yes.
I've learned that this is really a tool that I think is highly important for the appreciation and the development of your sensory capabilities.
Yes, this is more with Cigar Academy where we do blind tasting. But we do also in the hotel, sometimes we have some atelier of blind tasting and the guest. You know, the hotel promote the event, and you have people who will be having two Robusto. They don't know what they are smoking. It can be Cuba, Honduras, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic. And they have to find the country of origin, and they have to describe a bit with the cigar scents. I work a lot with the cigar scents, and they have to describe a bit their cigar. And if they are good, they find the brand. But that never happened. Never happened. But we do blind tasting. We do a lot of events, like we do vintage versus non-vintage. Same cigar, same brand, one vintage, one non-vintage. Because you have a lot of people who ask why the vintage is so expensive compared to a regular cigar. So let's try, and you will conclude by yourself. So we do. Yes, we have a bunch of events that we are doing. Bertie, also in Bertie, in hotel, in cigar club. We do, for next year, we prepare a calendar with the brand we are distributing. Like if we have a chance to have Rosé Blanco or Carlito or Jeremia, we will do something exceptional into one of the private club. We have also maybe if Maya Selva come, or if Ashton, Mira, or her father, or Chip Golden come, they will do, or Juan Martinez from Royal de Nicaragua, if he has a chance to visit, we do such type of event. So the people are always very pleased to meet the face behind the cigar they enjoy. And this is very important. Always is very much into the education.
Do you now, after such a long time, consider Hong Kong truly your home base, or do you still have close connections to France and Bordeaux, where you were born?
Yes, I have family in France, I have friends in France, but right now I prefer to live in Hong Kong. First, the income taxes are very nice in Hong Kong. We don't pay much tax. The company tax, very nice. So this make a point to consider. And after so many years in Hong Kong, I like Hong Kong. I like the city. If one day I have to retire, I don't see myself playing golf every day and in a village somewhere in nowhere. I need an airport, not too far. I need the buzz of the city. I like the vibes of the city. I like to go out. I like that. So Hong Kong is perfect. You know, you can compare Hong Kong with New York, London, Paris, a big city. Los Angeles is different. Brian, I went to Los Angeles a few times. It's different. So flat, so large, so big, you're lost. I'm lost. Even when you drive, I have to have a pretty good GPS to speak pretty clearly English. But so I like the buzz of the city, and I like Hong Kong. Yes.
Now, obviously, Mr. Piras, retirement is something that you're not going to look into in the near future. That's still far down the road. But what would you like to be? What would you like to be that legacy that you leave for the industry, and what would you like to be the fingerprint that you have on this wonderful cigar industry that people will always remember?
Oh, that is very difficult question. I am not. I cannot tell you right now about legacy. No, it's too much. I will be too arrogant to answer that. I mean, I'm a small potato, and I like the cigar business. I like the people I met, and the people with whom I work, and the brand I distribute. And I think, yes, if one day one remember that I help a lot to grow the cigar industry in Asia Pacific, I will be pleased.
Brilliant. Let me frame it a little differently then. When you're looking ahead and taking a glimpse into the crystal ball, what are some of the things that you still see in the very near future? Some of the plans that you might still have, and a couple of tricks up your sleeve that you could possibly give us an insight to.
Okay. I believe right now that if the cigar maker from Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic are keeping with a good job, are keeping of the way they are doing, you will see more and more of this cigar in Asia Pacific, in Europe. You see that in Europe. You see the market share will increase very much. And this is already a good point. When China will open a bit more, China at the moment is one of the biggest markets in Asia. And I believe in the future, it will be as big as the States, or maybe even bigger. If that happens, it will be wonderful for the industry. It will be just wonderful. I don't know what to say, but right now I don't want to retire. I don't want to go to play golf every day. I want to keep working and to keep selling cigar and to keep promoting the brands. And we'll see one day what happened. But right now, I'm very fine. I have a very good team, and they can manage and give me a bit less work. So they are pretty good, and they catch fast, and they enjoy the cigar, and they enjoy smoking cigar, and they enjoy life in the cigar industry. So this is fine.
It's great to hear, Mr. Piras, and
You,
I
you,
think
you, you will see you will see Asia Pacific in the future. You will see again, in particular, China being really a big player in this industry. Uh, you see that now growing double digit every year, but it will come quicker than what we think. I mean, yes.
one thing we have to say, though, I believe, is that with everything that you've accomplished in the industry and over the last decades, Mr. Piras, you're certainly not a small potato, as you mentioned, but truly a well-accomplished industry. And we're fortunate to, and we're thankful for your contribution, and that we can have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Look, I'm very honored to have been invited to your show. I was a bit stressed. I lose a bit more of my hair. I was wondering what question is going to ask me, but now it's perfect, and I like the people you invited and joined this event. It's very fine. I hope I did not say too many stupidity. Tell me, just let me know if I say something bad. You can slap me over the screen.
Reinhard, Reinhard, I would like to say something.
Yes,
Eric,
Jose.
you said
Dígame.
something. Dígame, you said something very, very important. You know,
Thank you. Thank you. What did I say?
No, you said something very important about China. You know, many people know that I used to consult during a couple of years with a company. And when the monopoly had all the changes, well, things did not work out for the company that I was consulting. But I truly believe that the cigar consumption in Asia Pacific, in my personal opinion, will depend on two things. First of all, like you said, the Dominican, Honduras, and Nicaragua, we keep making up great cigars. But I think the second part is something that you believe in and I believe in, which is education, education, education. Because we have to make people understand that there is no cigar better than other, that every country produces great cigars and they're all different. So I firmly believe that what you're doing, and I hope that in the near future, whether it's through virtual, even though I would like it to be live, that when we go there, we can accomplish even more and more. So to you, good night. Thank you for your contribution to the cigar industry and to teaching and doing such a great job. Au revoir.
Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Bye-bye.
Many thanks, Jose. And Mr. Piras, I have one final question for you that I consider more important now than ever in these challenging times that we all live in. And also in particular in regards to what you just mentioned before, every now and then we hear people from the industry saying that so many issues in the world and conflicts and negativity could be erased if we would all just sit together with a cigar and have an open and most heartfelt conversation. With everything that's going on in the world right now, what do you believe we all as a cigar family can do to be a little more united, to stand together and to appreciate and enjoy the community and the conviviality and help us all to stay connected in the most positive way?
What you are doing at the moment with this event, Light Them Up, is very important. This is very good. You bring people from all over the world talking about cigar. So this is amazing. 5 years ago, we did not see that. We did not have such type of evening. And even maybe 5 years ago, I will not be here because I will think that something wrong. why I'm talking to a screen and we are talking of people all around the world. We don't know each other. So time changes, and what you are doing, this is a good way. Here we have people who book my private room until end of the year, until December, and they meet every Friday at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and they enjoy cigar, they have whiskey, they have rum, they have drinks, and they share and they discuss of everything. I think the conviviality into the cigar is very important to share, to discuss. You can talk about cigar, you can talk about a lot of other things, but it's very important. It's a kind of fraternity, brotherhood, if you want, in this world of cigar, and is very important when you share sometimes with friends or people you just meet, you have a common field, the cigar. And you find that here in Bertis, you find that you have some people who are there, they discuss, and they are passionate about watch, and a guy beside, they are going to become friends, and they join on to the same table, and they will talk about the cigar, but they will talk about their watch toys, or they will talk about whiskey, or they will talk about wines, or they will talk about women, or golf, or whatever, or guys, I don't care what they talk. But it's important, actually in our world, it's very important that people communicate and people share and talk like this. So I believe that in the future, maybe I'm too optimistic, but I believe that in the future, in the cigar world, we will have the same kind of communication, of brotherhood, a common field cigar. And you love a cigar at 2,000 euro, you prefer a cigar which is 10 euro. Who cares? You like your cigar and you like what you are enjoying and you like to spend a good time with the people. This, I think, is very important.
And I couldn't think of a better way to end this wonderful conversation, this wonderful evening. And I hope that we, in a very small expression, sort of accomplished what you just mentioned, Mr. Piras, that we all got some people together from around the world and we shared a wonderful time, and I'm truly grateful for everything that you shared with us. So we wish you nothing but the very best for everything that's going on with Bertie at the moment and with Sigral, obviously, to your family, health, and be safe in these challenging times. And I can't wait to join you in Hong Kong and smoke a cigar together with you.
You are most welcome. Please, anytime, let me know.
And
thank you all to have participated to this event. I hope I was not too boring. I hope you enjoy your time. And don't hesitate to ask questions. And if I may reply to your question, maybe not tonight, but later on, I will be pleased. I will be really pleased. Thank you all. Enjoy a good cigar, enjoy a good drink, and enjoy life.